Hello, beautiful warriors, and welcome to Good Days. I'm Karen Frantz, and I'm here to chat with you about our bizarre disease. This is the dermatomyositis kind of chat, kind of share information window. Um, I've got a couple products that I really like that I was going to share with you. Just things that kind of help me a little bit. Now, I just went through my infusion in July, which I'm just now starting to really feel the effects of it backing off some of the swelling. I actually have a neck now, which I didn't, before. Um, I'm running hot though. Woo! You can see my butterfly underneath my makeup today. With the steroids from my epidural that I had in my hip joint to help me have a little less pain. And of course, my infusion has got my body kind of whacked out going, what do we do now? Remember, the infusion goes in and it turns off all those crazy cells that are attacking your healthy cells. So basically, someone's going through the warehouse, shutting down all the lights is basically what it is. So, of course, I have to be really careful that I don't have any kind of infection. So, I do get urinalysis quite often to be sure. That seems to be ear infections and UTIs are something that we just don't notice that we have because our body is shut off. So make sure that you check those out. A couple of things that I use that I was going to let you know I'm going to do in the next video. I'll make sure that I put some shots in here so that it'll help you. Also, bleach baths. I know that sounds just horrible, but you'd be surprised when you're itching really bad, just like a fourth a cup of bleach mixed in with your bath water. Now, remember, you can't mix bleach with anything else. You can't mix it with Epsom salt. Do not do that. That's bad, bad, bad. Just by itself, it calms the skin. It'll also kill off any infections that you might have. If you have open cuts or anything, you got to be really careful about getting into public water, lakes, rivers, ponds. It's not a good idea. There's just so many tiny little cuts that you have on your feet, especially if you wear flip-flops. There's lesions that you don't see. So a lot of times, every couple of weeks I'll take a bleach bath just to make sure that I don't have anything growing anywhere. And it does help with the itching too. I also take hydroxyzine when the itching gets out of control. Sometimes when I'm trying to exercise, when I'm trying to walk, which has just been a new thing now that they've cleared me with all my other stuff so I can start building back up my strength. I notice that as my body gets kind of wound up in the exercise, I'll get a flush and it feels like everything's rushing through my veins, and it's an itch response that just absolutely will drive me nuts. So I keep the hydroxyzine on hand. And that's along with my Sizol and my other, antihistamines. Sorry, brain fart gets in there an awful lot. As you will see, like I said, I'm just all me. You're just going to get the good, the bad, the ugly. But hydroxyzine, I would make sure that you have that on hand. It does help a lot. I take 3 tablets at a time. And it doesn't dry me out terribly bad. That's what I was worried about. And it doesn't make me sleepy, which is good. Benadryl, you can get in trouble with Benadryl because you can start to overdose on it, which is not good. And it has a really bad drying factor too. The cold roller ball, I know I said in one of my other videos, cold roller ball or cold soda can, something, if you're having an itch response, take it and just smooth it over the skin and envision scales laying down. That's what works for me, is scales laying down. Don't let anybody rub both ways because that's just increasing your itch response. I hope that helped you. Please make sure that you have a hat. I have a hat with the little shawl thing on the back so that it doesn't go to my neck. Inside the stores, we've talked about that. Those skylights and the old fluorescent lights, that's UV light coming right down on you. Sunglasses, we forget about our eyes a lot. Snow is even worse than sun. Make sure that you've got something on there. And I have a UV umbrella for when I'm going somewhere and I don't want to wear my UV jacket and my hat. And I still have to wear my glasses because remember, it bounces off the pavement and comes up into our face. So make sure that you have those, Sorry, I'm fighting a lot of brain fog. I think of everything that I want to tell you guys and then I forget about it. So I'm trying to keep it all. I'm also going to include how I rack my meds. Meds are so important. And as we see some of these awful emergency situations, and I mean, just think of the people of Hawaii. I mean, they have no meds. They have nothing of theirs. And we've had some situations here where we've had some really bad storms to where we've had to go into our basement. I always want to make sure that I can pull my meds right away. So I keep them in 2 baskets and keep them with everything that I need. And of course, I have to re-rack, once a week to set up for, and I take 29 pills a day. So if you keep them racked up in morning, noon, and evening, it makes it so much easier. And I'll show you how I do mine. But I also keep in the top of that my medication, because when we have brain farts and brain fog, you don't want to mess up your pills. That could be really, really bad. And a lot of times we're so tired. So you want to make sure that you have a list that you're going to as you rack them. It's also really handy if something happens to where we do have to go to the hospital or something. My husband can reach in and grab my med deck, and it's got all the medications on it. It also has everything that I need to take. I can take a single day, if I'm going on the road for the day. I want to make sure I have all my medication with me. Little things like that to make your life easier will help a lot, because when you sit with a different doctor that's maybe never seen you and you're like, okay, I need a list of your medicines, and you're going, oh, it's a lot to write. So it's just better if you can just flip that over and say, hey, also take a picture of it and put it in your phone. Another thing that I do as well is on my phone, on the first screen that everybody can see, there's a medic alert thing saying that I'm immunosuppressed. You want to make sure if you're in a car wreck or if you have some other issue and you're immunosuppressed, you want to make sure that they know that, because they could give you things that could actually kill you. So please make sure you have all that information out there. Another thing of advice is if you have a doctor that says that, and I've heard this from a couple of you guys, that your doctors have said, well, dermatomyositis doesn't have anything to do with pain. Get out. Get a new doctor. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I can tell you that I have some of the best specialists because they work together, because they don't know enough about this disease. And I appreciate when they tell me we just don't know. That's great. If you've got a doctor that says they know all the answers, then apparently they have a reality issue, because there's no doctor that has all the answers to this disease. We're the best spokespersons for it because we live it. There's a lot of pain with dermatomyositis. If you think about your tendons ripping, your ligaments ripping, pulling, not being able to support, that's painful. If you've ever, ripped a muscle or torn something, that's awful. Well, this is going on in our body all the time. They chased blood in my urine, and I also had some blood in my poop. They did all these things. They can't figure out what it is. I know what it is. It's something inside might, tear a little bit and have a little blood coming from it. But I've been checked out, and they say that there's no malignancies in the upper or the lower scope. It's just part of our disease. So if your doctor's going, at least he's being honest with you. Do not trust one that says that there's no pain to it. That just makes me absolutely crazy. It's nuts, right? Wes, I also did a segment on coconut oil for you guys to let you know that it helps a lot. It actually has my nails growing, which they don't usually do. They usually shatter, but it's making things a lot tougher. But I'll try to think of other things. I know we're a really small group, and some of you guys have said, we just don't have very many subscribed. Let's face it, there's not very many of us out there. So I'm fine with that. As long as I'm helping one person, I will continue to make these tapes. And I'd be anxious to hear what helps you with your day. Keep smiling. I know it's hard. And be sure that you understand that it is in your best interest to mourn the lifestyle that you had before DM. Now you have to find a different way. And, it can be wonderful just knowing that we get that extra day. I mean, I've lived way longer than I should have been allowed to live. My heart should have given out a while ago. But I'm researching and I'm understanding more, and I'm trying to reach out and help other people that have this issue as well. So I'm giving you soft hugs, and feel free to ask any questions. I wasn't great about keeping up with the comments, but I'll try to make sure that I log in on that a lot. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and lots of prayers going to you. Have a great day. Let's have more good days, shall we? Bye. Okay, some of my favorite items that help me so very much. Lumify. Lumify is an over-the-counter, basically it's a watered-down glaucoma medication. My eye doctor had told me that I can use it quite often. It's not going to hurt. It might actually help things. I get the red ring around the irises of my eyes from my iritis and uveitis that I have, just more inflammation. Probably a lot of you guys do. Our eyes get really red and irritated. I am on other drops for that disease, but the Lumify allows me to not look like a zombie. So I put it in when I'm doing my shots. Like if I was to do my shot where I didn't have it, you would think that I was stoned off of my gourd, which in the evening I am, but not now. Anyway, a couple drops of Lumify. It lasts for 8 hours, keeps the red out. I have noticed a little bit of a slingshot kind of action when I've got a lot of swelling and it comes back in. I get a little bit of a headache too, but it's really worth it to kind of look normal. So Lumify is a big yay. Hello, my beautiful warriors. I'm sorry it's taken me a while to put a video on, but I've been going through a couple of things. I had an epidural. They actually put it into the SI joint. It's a little bit more difficult to do and it hurts a whole hell of a lot more, but hopefully it'll give me some more motion so that I can start walking. I did have my infusion a couple months ago. I ate through the entire infusion way too soon, so my body went back to square one. I did take on a lot of extra damage. I've got some extra nerve damage from it just getting out of control. But they're going to move me to 4.5 months on the Rituxan infusion. Rituxan has been out long enough now that they can make a generic of it. So the company has a generic, which actually has a copay program with it, which helps out quite a bit. Because, you know, those things are like 19 grand to get an infusion. And of course, if you're having to move to 3 times a year as opposed to 2 times a year, it can definitely increase your cost out. Like I said, we're real expensive to keep alive. So make sure that you're doing what you need to do so that you can live life to its fullest with our condition. I'm going to mash up some pieces and put together for you. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. And I know there are not many of us in this small group of ours, but hopefully if it helps one person, I'll continue to keep posting. Have a great day, everyone. Take care, gentle hugs, and I'll see you soon.